Sairam students, welcome to the fourth session of chapter 1, that is the living world, adaptations and classification. So before starting today's session children, let's revise what we had learnt in the last session. So in the last session children, we had seen about the aquatic animals, adaptation in aquatic animals. So we took the example of fish, right? So the fish, it has got a tapering, both of its ends are tapered and it has got a spindle shaped body, right? So there are scales on the skin and fins, right? With the help of the fins, the fish, they can swim in water, right? And the fish, it breathes through the gills instead of nose, and they have got transparent eyelids. Also, air bladders are present within their body, and because of this they can float. Then we took the example of duck, right? The duck, the frog, the water hen, they have all got webbed toes, right? So because of these webbed toes, whenever they are in water, they use their legs like oars, right? And the duck and the water hen, they have got the feathers which are waxy, so water does not stay on these feathers. Then we took example children of the frog. The frog, it has got a slippery smooth skin, it has got a triangular head, and it has also got webbed toes, right? So because of this, the frog, it can live on land as well as in water. So that's the reason it is called as an amphibian. So whenever it is in water, it breathes through the skin, and whenever it is on land, it breathes through the nose and the lungs. Also, the frog, it has got a typical color on its back, and because of this, it can hide easily in the grasses. Then children, we talked about the adaptation in forest and grassland animals. So we took first about the carnivorous animals like the wild dogs, fox, tiger, right? So they have got strong limbs so that they can run fast and easily capture their prey, right? And they have got claws and canine teeth. Now canine teeth, I told you, they are very sharp and pointed, right? And the carnivorous animals children, they have got their eyes in front of their forehead, right? And because of this, they can spot their prey from a long distance. Also, they have got padded paws, and because of this, they can silently capture their prey. Then we took children about the herbivorous animals. Now herbivorous animals are the grass eating animals. So in their case, the eyes, they are located below the forehead on either side, right? So that's the reason they have got a long vision, and they can see from all the sides from where the predators can come. Also, they have got long and tapering legs, right? And because of this, they can run fast and they can take long heaps, that is long jumps they can take. Also, they have got freely moving and long ears, so that whatever sound is heard, they can hear it from any of the direction, right? And then we took about the black ducks and the deer, that their color, it merges with the surrounding, right? Then children, we took about the example of adaptation in desert animals. So desert animal means camel is the ship of the desert. So it has got a thick skin so that the loss of water can be prevented from its body. Also, it has got thick and long eyelashes, right? And the nostrils, they are protected by the folds of the skin. Now this camel also, it has got a cushioned sole, right? And the animals, there are also other animals found in the desert, right? Like the rat, snake, spider, lizard. Now all these animals, they are active only in the night. During the daytime, they live in the deep burrows because of the strong heat. So this was what we had seen in the last session. Now let's see in today's session about the adaptation in animals of snowy regions. Now in the snowy regions children, you can see like this type of animals, right? Yak, wild dog, yak, polar bear, white fox, silver fox, Siberian husky dog, snow leopard. So these are the animals you can find in the snowy regions. Now these animals, they have got long thick hair on the skin, right? So because of this long thick hair which is there on their skin, they are able to live in the snowy region. Also their body color is always silver or white in color. So the snowy regions animals which are there, they have got long thick hair on the skin, and because of this they can survive in the snowy regions. Now we'll see about the adaptation in aerial animals. So as I told you children, aerial animals means the animals which can fly in the sky, right? And mostly these are birds. So spindle shaped body of the birds that minimizes the resistance of air while flying. Now the bird also, it has got a spindle shaped body, and because of this when they are flying, the resistance of the air which is there, that gets minimized, that becomes less. Also there are feathers covering the body of the birds. Hollow bones makes the body light in weight and adapted for flying. Now the birds, they have got the bones which are hollow, means they are not very strong, right? Inside these bones there will be the bones are not very strong, right? So because of that their body is light in weight, and since they are light in weight, that's the reason they can fly in the sky. And the four legs, they are modified into wings. So the aerial animals, they have got a spindle shaped body, and because of this they can fly easily in the air. Also there are feathers covered on the body, and because of the hollow bones, their body, it becomes very light in weight, and because of this reason they can fly easily in the sky. And their legs, they are modified into wings. Now insects. Now insects also, they are light in weight, and they have also got a tapering body. Two pairs of wings for flying, right? So they have also got two pairs of wings for flying, and they have got 6 stick like walking legs, right? So their legs which are there, they are like sticks, right? So they have got 6 legs for walking. So insects also, their body is light in weight, and they have also got a tapering body, and because of this they can fly easily in the sky, and also they can fly easily, right? And they have got legs, there are 6 legs, right, which looks like a stick. Next is about the bats. Now bats, they have got a thin fold of skin called as patagium between their forelegs and hind legs. Now this lightweight, and they are able to hang. Now bats also, they are also light in weight, and that's the reason they can hang easily, and they can also fly. So there is between their forelegs and the hind legs, they have got a thin skin fold which is called as the patagium. Next is, we are going to see about the adaptation in reptiles. So as I told you children, reptiles means crawling animals. So examples are like snakes, earthworms, crocodile, etc. Right? Now snakes creep with the help of the scales on their skin, and house lizard, garden lizard, crocodile, they use their muscles for creeping. Now in case of snake, they crawl with the help of the scales which are present on their skin, and the rest of the animals like garden lizard, house lizard, crocodile, they use their own muscles for creeping. Now they show adaptation in skin, soles of feet, body color, etc. House lizard and monitor lizards, they have got clawed toes, thin soles, whereas snakes, they have got scaly skin, right? Now if you see snake, it has got a scaly skin. This you cannot observe in the lizard, right? So lizard has got different adaptation. It has got clawed toes and thin soles, right? And next is, we are going to see about the adaptation for food in animals. Now how animals take their food, right? So the categorization of the animals as herbivores and carnivores, right? So animals, they are divided into two categories, that is herbivorous animals and carnivorous animals. So I have already told you children, carnivorous animals means flesh eating animals and herbivorous animals means grass eating animals. So special adaptations are seen in each category to make the process of feeding easy. So in each category, that means in herbivores and carnivores, there is a special adaptation so that they can uh, uh, themselves procure their food, right? So the feeding becomes easy in both their cases. Now, we cannot spot easily colorful butterflies, lizards and grasshoppers. Whenever you go in a garden, children, if you see these grasshoppers and this garden lizards, butterflies, you can see on the plants or on the grasses everywhere. So they have got the color similar to the grasses, right? So that is what they get camouflaged amidst the grasses, the parts of the plants, right? So if you see it on a plant, it will be of green color, so you cannot easily identify whether it is a plant or it is a grasshopper, because both are same in color. Then the butterflies also, if you can see that if there are flowering plants, the butterfly color and the flower color is also similar, right? So that's the reason they get adjusted to the surroundings, right? So they get mixed, their colors get mixed with the surroundings. So colors blend with the surroundings. So as I told you, now we cannot spot easily these butterflies, lizards and grasshoppers because of their colors, right? Because these colors and the plant color, they get they are somewhat similar. So that's the reason we cannot identify them easily sometimes. So this was what in today's session, children. So let's recap what we have learnt in today's session. First, we saw, children, about the adaptation in snowy regions. So I told you that in the snowy regions we can see the animals like yak, polar bear, Siberian husky dog, mountain goats, etc. Right? So these animals, they have got a thick hair on the skin, and because of this they can survive in the snowy regions. Also their body color is white or silver in color. Then, children, we saw about the adaptation in aerial animals. So aerial animals means those animals which can fly, right? So the birds, they have got a spindle shaped body, right? And because of this, what happens whenever they are flying, the resistance of the air, it gets minimized, right? And the bones of these birds, they are very hollow, and because of this their body becomes light in weight and they can fly easily. Also they have got feathers on their body. Then we, children, took about the example of insects. So insects are also light in weight and they have got a tapered shaped body at both the ends, and that it has got 6 legs which are look like a stick. And then we took the example, children, of a bat. So bats also, they are light in weight, and that's the reason they can fly and hang. And especially they can fly because of the patagium, which is a thin fold of skin between their forelegs and the hind legs. Then, children, we took about the adaptation, looked into the adaptation of the reptilian animals. So reptiles, as I told you, they are crawling animals, right? So we saw that the snakes, they can creep because of the scales which are present on the skin, whereas the lizards, the house lizards, crocodile, garden lizard, they can all creep with the help of their muscles, right? So the snakes, they have got a scaly skin, whereas this lizards and all, they have got clawed toes, right? And thin soles. Okay, so then, children, we saw about the adaptation for food in animals. So the herbivorous and the carnivorous animals, right? In every animal you can see a special adaptation, so that whatever feeding is there, that can be easily done, right? So I mean, there are some characteristics in it, in the carnivorous and the herbivorous animals, because of which they can hunt and capture their prey, and they can get their food, right? Then we saw about the adaptation for blending with the surroundings. So your butterflies, grasshoppers and lizards, whenever you see them in the garden, sometimes you cannot identify them easily because they get their color, it gets merged with the surrounding, right? So the plants also look green in color, and the lizard and the grasshoppers are also of the same color. So butterflies color also, it matches with some of the flowers, so sometimes you cannot easily identify them. So the color of these animals also blends with the surroundings. So in the next session, children, we'll see about the Darwin's theory of evolution. Till then, goodbye.